Hi everybody, welcome back to my fitness drive. I'm TJ, your personal trainer in training, and today we're going to be covering the running in place as well as the high knees. So let's get right into it. Alright, so before we actually get started, this video is going to consider some of what we learned from the half shuffle tutorial. So if you have not already seen that video, please go back and watch it. I will include a link to that video in the description. So let's begin. Alright, so running in place is exactly what it sounds like. We are running in place. So you might know what that looks like already, but in case we don't, when we're running in place, we're literally just running in place. When we're jump roping though, our arms are not going to be swinging, right? The rope has to come around our body, and unlike when we're running in place normally, we need to bring our feet off the ground a little higher than what we're doing here, so that way we give the rope some clearance to pass underneath our bodies. So when we're running in place, we're going to bring our heels back, and we can either be very low with it or we can be pretty high with it, almost like a butt kicker, but not quite a full-on butt kicker. Okay? All right. So now that we kind of get the basic understanding of what we're doing for the running in place, let's go ahead and incorporate the rope. So just as we do with any new jump, we're going to take it one step at a time, and it's completely okay to break it down for yourself until it starts to stick. Because while running in place seems easy enough, when we incorporate the rope, we might fumble ourselves a little bit, okay? So we're gonna start with the rope passing over our bodies, right? So with the rope coming around our bodies, we're going to, remember, as we're running in place, both feet have to be off the ground in order for the rope to clear us, right? So one foot is gonna hop, the other is going to kind of kick back, okay? So hop, and as you see, we're starting with my right where I'm hopping off my right, and my left is kicking back. So hop, okay? So just do that a few times until you start feeling right about that. Okay? Now that we have the basic feeling of that, we're now going to incorporate the other leg. So you're gonna realize that just as we hop off the right and we kick back with our left, it's gonna be the complete opposite when the rope comes back the second time. We're going to switch when we hop, and our left is going to come down with our right kicking back. So it's going to be hop, hop, okay? So again, hop, hop. One more time, up, out. So our left and right, we're alternating as we kick back, okay? So one more time, we're going with our right, left, okay? Maybe I should say it the opposite way so we don't get confused. So when I say right, I'm hopping off my right, kicking back with my left. And when I say left, I'm going back and I'm landing on my left, but I'm kicking back with my right, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? All right, so that's just a basic running in place, and as you saw, we were kind of low with that. So to add some variation to your skips, I'm gonna show you how to go higher. It's really the same movement, but instead of just barely kicking our heels back, we're gonna bring them up higher. Again, almost like we're going to do a butt kicker, but we're not going up as high as an actual butt kicker, okay? So, whoops. Maybe not try to swing your rope in an enclosed space. So, well, we're gonna begin. So we kick back, we're going low. Now, bring your heels back more. And that's really it. So go back low, running in place, higher, And that's it. Okay, so now we are going into the high knees. So like I mentioned at the beginning of this video is going to consider certain elements of the half shuffle that really is more applied to the high knees. So in the half shuffle video, we kind of covered just marching in place. And the reason why this motion is important for the high knees is because as we alternate our knees and we tire ourselves out, eventually we're going to get to a point where we start to do this motion. And as you can see, my knee isn't 90-degree angle. My heel is starting to kick back, almost like we just learned with the running in place. But there is a very clear distinction between the two. So while we're running in place, our knees are going back, right? So we're kind of stretching out our quad muscles here. But with the high knees, it's a whole different motion. So we're engaging our hip flexors more. We're putting more time under tension with our quads here versus stretching them out. We're kind of constraining them, and we're using the force of our lower glutes to bring our knee up. So we want to be able to engage these muscles properly, and we're not going to engage the proper muscles if we're starting to kick back. So running in place, we're kicking back. High knees, we're bringing our knees up. So that's why it's very important that when we're doing our running in place, we're kicking our heels back with the intention to kick them back. And when we're doing our high knees, we're doing our high knees with the intention to bring our knees up at a 90-degree angle. Okay? And it doesn't have to be a perfect 90 degrees, right? It's not like we're pausing the video to take perfect calculations, right? The most important thing here is that to the best of our ability, we're bringing it up at 90 degrees. If there's a little bit of deviation one way or the other, it's okay, just as long as we're not kicking our heels back, right? So that's what we really want to focus on, okay? Now, when you do the high knees, be forewarned, if high knees is something you don't normally do and you're focusing on keeping your knee at 90 degrees, you might start to feel the sensation of like you're kind of going backwards. That's completely okay. To feel that sensation, just again, practice. Take it little by little, just like we do with anything, until it starts to feel natural. So don't just jump into high knees and you're like, whoa, I'm going backwards. Take it one step at a time. So up, okay? And we do this with every new jump that we learn, okay? So up, and then once this starts to feel natural, then 1, 2, bring in the other leg, okay? And then alternate, 1, 2. And then once that starts to feel natural, then you just keep going. So up, 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 up. And there you have it. All right, so just to recap what we went over today with the jumping in place, running in place. With the running in place, remember, we are running in place, but we are kicking our heels back. Whether we're doing the lower variation or the higher variation, we're just kicking our heels back. We're not doing a full-on butt kicker, but we're not also barely lifting our feet off the ground. We are kicking our feet back, just as we are when we're running in place, enough to give the rope clearance to pass underneath us. With the high knees, we're bringing our knee up at a 90-degree angle, and I mean, as close as you can get to 90 degrees. That's completely okay. Just as long as you're making sure you're not kicking your heel back when you're doing your high knees, okay? So just remember that you're doing the proper movement or the intended movement for each of those different jumps, okay? And just as we always recap when it comes to any jump, make sure when you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. okay? And make sure your breathing matches your cadence, right? You don't want to be breathing too fast and you're going slower. You don't want to be breathing, the opposite, vice versa. Shoulders relaxed. Your arms are not out here. They're close to your body, and they're not up here. They're down to your hip. And when you're swinging the rope, you're swinging with your wrist. You're not swinging with your arms, at least not with these jumps, okay? So yeah, that's really it. If you like what we're doing, really appreciate a like and subscribe. Maybe share with some friends and family who might be interested in jump roping. Remember, we're keeping things at a very beginner friendly level. The whole purpose is to understand these basics so that way we can continue to grow and avoid injury. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Remember, stay active, be healthy, and I will catch you later on My Fitness Journey.
With the planets and stars, so the galaxies can know who we are. To know me is to love me, baby. To know me is to love me, baby. Connect your soul with the planets and stars, so the galaxies can know who we are. To know me is to love me, baby. To know me is to love me, baby.